Biosimilars have been around in Europe for more than 10 years now, even in oncology, but mainly as supportive care. But now we enter a period where biosimilar, more complex products will come into the market. And I think it's the right time to educate doctors, mainly prescribers, but also to reassure patients and even payers about their quality and their safety and their efficacy. In essence, a biosimilar is the same as the reference original biologic. So there's no concern over that because the EMA has put together a very stringent regulatory framework for that. Well, you see, it is true that replicating a biotech drug, a monoclonal antibody such as trastuzumab or rituximab, which are used in oncology, is not easy. They're very complex, very big molecules. But it can be done. And we know that from other specialties like rheumatology, where an infliximab biosimilar has been around for a long time. So what I tell them is, the EMA has put a very demanding framework so that companies do have to demonstrate a very high level of equivalence at the molecular level, that is, in the structure of the product. But not only that, they have to show that their functional behavior, the so-called biological activity, is essentially the same. And then you go for potentially trials in animals, phase 1 trials, phase 3 trials. So really, and this takes a long time, this takes many years and a lot of money. So really, the EMA has taken care of making sure that whenever biosimilar is authorized, there's a strong demonstration, a strong evidence, very solid evidence, that both products would behave the same in terms of safety and efficacy. And there's no reason to believe that it won't happen. And in fact, after those more than 10 years in the market, in the EU market, there's been no pharmacovigilance alert in terms of any unexpected adverse event in the areas where biosimilars are already launched. Yeah, rituximab has certainly been approved by the EMA and is being launched now in a few countries, but not the whole Europe because the patents are expiring at different times. We'll have trastuzumab for sure, which is under evaluation in oncology. We have bevacizumab as well, and there will be other products to come while the patents are getting expired. So it's going to be a very interesting 10-year period in terms of launching different products. I think doctors will be reassured when they'll experience the fact that essentially their therapeutic behavior is the same as the originator. Well, I think from the scientific point of view, as I said, there's no challenge. I mean, it's challenging to reproduce a biotech drug, but once it has been authorized, I think we are safe. Now, the issue is more reassuring the doctors so that they feel comfortable prescribing those. Maybe they feel comfortable switching, and we'll see with time if the switch in that area is safe, as I believe it is. In the case of infliximab in rheumatology, there was a lot of reluctance to switch a few years ago, and now even the British Gastroenterology Society promotes the switching. So I think the experience, the doctors will be reassured as soon as they get the product and they start to treat patients and see that the response they get is the response they used to get with the originator. You see, numbers will be out there soon, I'm sure about that. But just to take an example, I think for trastuzumab, there's reports and public. I don't think they're publicly published, but saying that trastuzumab, or the launch of a trastuzumab biosimilar may potentially save, I wouldn't say save, may contribute to accumulate between 600 and 1 billion euros to be used for higher patient access to buy innovative medicines. So it's not really a saving because that's an expense that we'll have to assume, but the expense will contribute to increase the access of patients to biologic therapies. And that is a fact already with other biosimilars being launched. You see that this particular therapeutic class is being provided to more patients in Europe.